Hey everybody, welcome back. I am Lori Cooch. Today I'm going to show you how I adapted a card that I made in Design Space for graduation into a Cricut Craft Room file. It's quite intensive to do this, so I've got a printed direction sheet that is going to go with it. If you're watching this on YouTube, just email me at toribe@yahoo.com and I will send you the file for free. Or you can just leave a message below this video and I'll send you the file there too. If you're a member of the Cricut Craft Room group on Facebook, the file will already be up in the files section, so you can find it there. To begin, I did this using Cricut Craft Room Basics and Cricut Font and Basic Shapes. So everybody should be able to create this card even and not have to worry about the subscription or cartridges that you own. So I'm going to open my file, and it's not going to look real pretty in Cricut Craft Room, but trust me, it's all there. So what you see is I've just got everything layered to save paper. So I'm going to hide the layers so we can watch them one at a time. This black layer, the first one here, layer 1, that is the base of the card. And this one is going to require a lot of manual work. But don't worry, there's step-by-step instructions on the printed sheet with exact measurements to help you out. Hide this one. And yes, there is 2 black layers here, and you'll see why. This is going to be a layer in the card that this is going to be the numbers, or where you're going to put the numbers for 2015. This is going to be your sentiment, congratulations, or whatever you want to put there. This is for your cap, for your capping, the graduation cap. These you're going to cut as well. So you have this rectangle and this one. They're going to need some manual cutting, but again, the sizing and how to cut them is written down in the instructions. So you have those. Then you have this second black layer, and I put them right below, like if I bring the other black layer in, right below it, so you don't have to get a third sheet. So you can just put your cardstock on your mat and cut these 2 layers back to back, and nothing will override on it. Okay, so you have this down there, and then if I hide this one and go to this one, these are going to be the inside of the card. This is going to go on top. This piece and this piece also require manual cutting. Can't for the life of me remember what this piece is for right now. I'm sorry, this piece and this piece will require manual cutting. This is the second piece for the cap. This is the banner that the orange piece will sit on for your, this will sit on your orange piece for your word. Now, you'll see that this has a separate triangle here. And the reason for that, and I didn't weld them, is because I wanted to actually make this cut right here, so that your banner will have those little indents at the end. Okay, so that's why those are there. And so we need to bring all the layers up again. So when you're looking at it this way, it just looks like a jumbled mess. But if you're not familiar with how the layering works, when you click cut, it's going to prompt you to make sure that the drop down is on cut all layers, but you're going to have one mat with black on it, okay? And it's going to prompt you to cut those black ones first. Let it cut, don't touch anything on it, and then, well, unless you need to change your mat, then it's going to prompt you to cut layer 2, then you're going to come back to layer 3, which is, if you have 2 mats and you left your black alone, you can just put it right in the machine. This lettering and words and everything will cut right below your card base. And then it'll prompt you to cut the white. And I did it this way so that everything is where it's going to cut and save you some paper. And so it means if I had spread this out, you would have be using a lot of wasted paper, and we don't want that. So that's why that's there. Now I'm going to post this file, and what you want to do is you want to download it from Facebook. I save things like this on my desktop, makes them easy to find. And then you'll go into your Cricut Craft Room and you'll say File and Open. Oh, I don't need to save it. And then down here you're going to click on Import. I can't import it because it's already in my thing, but you'll go to wherever you saved it on your computer. You're going to click on that file. You're going to say Open. It's going to import that into your craft room. Oh, I did not mean to close that. Bear on. Hold on. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So when after you click the import and put it into your file, it's going to show right here, same as mine. You then click on it again and say Open, and it will open in your craft room just like it did mine. If you are using the personal or a non 12x12 machine, I think the Imagine may be smaller than 12x12. You're going to need to move those pieces around. This was sized for a 12x12 mat. But if you have a smaller machine and you need help how to do that, just let me know. I'm sure y'all know. Okay, so that's all we're going to do in the Cricut Craft Room. Okay, once those cut, just set those pieces aside, and then we're going to move on to these directions here. And again, these will be posted, and I will email them to you if you need to know how to do this. So they're real basic. My card is designed in 3 colors, black, orange, and white, and so that's why the Cricut Craft Room layers are designed that way, to help make it easy. Yes, there's 2 black. You'll manually be scoring and cutting some of these, and that's where it's going to get a little bit tricky. So to do the first, you're going to take the black base, the long rectangle, the first one on layer 1. You're going to lay it long ways, just like it is on your mat. And you're going to make a 2-inch long cut starting at 5 4/8 from the left side. And you're going to go down 1 3/8 from the top and 5 4/8 in from the left, and then you're going to make that 2-inch to the right. So if I could pull that back up. I'm not able to do this in Craft Room to make these cut lines automatic, so that's why we have to do them manually. And let's see. So what I'm talking about here, hide these layers. So if this was your thing, you would go in, I don't remember how far it was, 5 4/8 from the left. You'd come in and figure out how far 5 4/8 was, and then you would find, ooh, wrong thing. You would go 1 3/8, 1 3/8 down, and where those intersected, you would then make a 2-inch cut this way. Okay, so you're going to go from left to right, starting at where that 5 and whatever and the 1 and whatever, where they intersect, you're going to go 2 inches this way to the right. And you're going to do that a couple of times. So you're going to do that first one at 5 4/8 and 1 3/8, 2 inches to the right. Then you're going to make a next one. Oh, I cannot talk, y'all. Sorry. At 6 1/8 and 2 6/8, 2 6/8, and you're going to go 2 inches to the right. And these are going to stair step down, and it's what's going to make the stair step on your card. And if you're not familiar with this card, let me show you. Well, it's sideways, but see this is going to be your first cut right here, and you're going to go to the right. It's turned sideways, but when you print it, you'll be able to see it, and this will be your second one. But when it lays flat, it's kind of stair stepped off going towards the right, and it will make much more sense when you can see it on your own desk. Okay, so you're going to do 3 cuts like that, and the third one's at 6 3/4 and 4 1/8. it's important that you do these directions in this order, because without the cut lines, you're not going to know where to stop these score lines. So do the cut lines first. And then the very first score line you're going to do, and you're going to keep that base the same way you've had it, going lengthwise across your base or your workspace. You want to start at the top and go all the way to the bottom. You want to score that in at 4.5 inches. That's going to be the fold for the front flap of your card. Then the following score lines are going to be, and I've got a map to show you exactly where to do these, but you're going to score one at 5 4/8, going from top to bottom. So you're going to go from the top of the card at 5 4/8 all the way down to the first cut line. Then you're going to go at 6 1/8 down to the next cut line, and 6 3/4 to the next cut line, and 7 1/8 to the next cut line. Now you'll see that these two are exactly the same. This is, you're starting back at the top. Score F starts you back at the top. So at 7 1/8, you start at the top to the cut line. And this will be the right side of the cut line now. And then at 7 9/16 to the cut line. And it'll be really easy for you to see where these marks need to go, because again, these are going to form your squares for that stair step. Okay, then that's it. That's all you're going to cut on the black piece. Now remember these rectangles, the orange ones and the white ones, where I said you're going to cut these, you're going to do some manual work on these? Yeah. Let me show you what you're going to do here. You are going to cut these notches right here. And it is so important that on the right side of your stairs, that you, this will be the big square, or the big rectangle that you have to start at the top. And you're going to do your first cut down, and then you're going to move in, and then your second cut down, and you're going to move in. And you have to start at the top, okay? But when you do this side right here, and this picture was taken before the white layer was on there, but there is a white layer that goes there too. You're going to start at the bottom. So you want to start at the widest part and work up. So on this one, you're going to start at the bottom and cut up and in and up and in. And you're going to end up doing this twice, because you have 2 layers there. You can see here, you have this orange layer, and then you're going to have the white layer that goes on top of it. But hopefully, this is what I did for you. You know, this side you're going to cut 1 inch down, and then you're going to go a 1/2 inch in. And then you're going to go 1 5/16 down and a 1/2 inch in. And these orange ones are 1 1/8, and I wrote them off over here because my writing's not the best and it's little. So you're going to do those, and then they're going to layer up perfect. So what you're going to do is you're going to put this corner up in the right corner flush. So that's going to give you this little hint of color down here. See how this corner's flush and this corner has the hint of color. So this is the same thing, but on this side you start at the bottom and cut up 1 3/8, and then in, I didn't mark the end. I'm pretty sure it's a 1/2 inch. It's on the directions. But 1 3/8, 1 3/8, and so on. If you cut it right, this should come out to 1 1/16, and this should be 1 1/8. So that's what you're trying to accomplish there. So we'll go back up here. So now the next step, and this is where people are going to get a little freaked out, is we're going to actually use design space. I know, you don't have an Explorer. That's why you're in Cricut Craft Room. It's okay. Trust me on this. So to get your design space, you just go to Cricut.com, and we'll go there. Whoops, wrong thing. So you're just going to go Cricut.com and you're going to click on Design Space. You can watch the video if you want to. You don't have to. You can say done. And on this little drop down, you're going to want to sign in. It may prompt you to download a plugin. You're going to need to do that to use the Design Space. But it's not going to screw anything up on your computer. It's not going to mess anything up with CCR. I use them both. It's fine. Okay, what we're going to do in the craft room, or I'm sorry, in Design Space, is we're going to bring in an SVG. And we can't use that in the Cricut craft room. But I went to LoriWhitloff.com, and Lori Noonamaker actually did a video that showed this website, so thank you, Lori. And what I did was I clicked on Shop, and then Celebrations, and Graduation. And there's a lot of things here. So I changed this drop down to 100, and the one I used is about halfway down on page 2. You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes, you can steer yourself any direction you choose. And that's a quote by Dr. Seuss. So I purchased this. You just click on it or add it to your cart. I purchased it, I checked out, and then they email you the link. You download that, you click on the link, you download it to your computer. I saved it to my desktop for ease of finding. And I hope it is still there now that I think about this. Yeah, okay. So we're in Design Space, and you're going to say File and New. You want to upload an image, and it's an SVG, so it's a vector upload, and you will say Upload Vector. Then you browse your computer, and mine just went to where I had it saved because I've already uploaded it. You click on it and you say Open, and there it is. You can put some tags in there, you can change the name, you say Save. And there it is. And you can see I already did it the other day. But here's the one that we already used. So you click on it, you get the green check, and you say Insert Images. And I'm doing this because I'm assuming that you guys don't or are not familiar with Design Space. So I'm trying to take it slow to show you how to get through this step. We're not cutting anything in Design Space, so you don't need the Explorer. This is not a waste of time. You just need a printer. So to size it, it's just like Cricut Craft Room, except for I want to unlock this aspect ratio a little bit, and I'm going to bring it up and out. And you're just going to size it to fit. There's a cut on one of those cards, and it's in the directions, so you can see how big to size it. Oh, I've lost it. It's here somewhere. I need to get over here. Help me, help me. There we go. Okay. So now we have it here. But if you'll notice on mine, go back over here. Mine has colors in it. I didn't want it all black. So it's all grouped, just like if you were to add text in Cricut Craft Room, okay? So while it is grouped together, I'm just going to come down here and say Ungroup. So here's all my different layers that are now going to be ungrouped. So I find the words I want to change their color. So the first one is brains. And I did mine based on the school's colors. So the one that you're actually looking at in the video is black and gold. The one on the picture was silver and red. So that's why I'm doing red. But you found the word brains, and you just click on it, and this palette over here opens up. Just click on any color that you want it to be. Okay. So I made mine red. See, it turned red over here. And the next one I want to change is the word feet. So I scroll till I find the word feet. And I make it red. And I scroll till I find the word steer. And I make it red. And then there's one more, I think it was this one. And I make it red. Okay, so we're done with that. Click off of it. So assuming that this is what I want, and this is done, just like in Craft Room, you highlight everything again, or you could just click on Select All, and you want to group that back. Okay, now it's showing as a cut. See how those all have scissors next to them? I don't want to cut, I want to print. Well, I can click on this again and go to print. And now it changed that image to a print, and that's not really going to work because I want all of it to print, not just one word. So here's what I recommend doing, just so it also helps you know how big you want to make it, or when you're hand cutting it out. So you go into Insert Shape, and we're just going to grab a square. And it's going to put that on here. And I'm just going to, I copied it. Oops. Okay. I'm just going to make this a little bit bigger than what I have going on here. And it may not be an exact square, so I can unlock it and change the sizing. Now, but the problem is I can't see. I keep going way off to the side. I don't know why. I'm hitting buttons on my mouse. Okay, so I can't see my words anymore. So I want to arrange this to go to the back. So now my words are on top. I don't want it to print that grayish color. So I'm going to click on it here, and then we're going to scroll down, and we're going to find my little square at the bottom. And I'm going to change the color to white. Now what this is going to do when you print this, it's going to just, the very, very hint on your paper, you're going to see where these lines are. Okay? So to do that, I need to select all. So it's going to collect my square and my words, and I want to flatten it. Now you'll see everything is just one thing here, and there's a printer next to it. So I can't change anything anymore. It's all one thing. I can unflatten it and go back and change it, but so if I hit go, this is too big. Okay, so we need to make it smaller. Easy to do. We know how to do that. So if I hit go now, it's going to take me to in Cricut Craft Room, which would be the essential of hitting cut. And it's going to show me that this is what's going to print. I'm going to get the sensor marks for the Explorer, which we're not going to need, but this is what's going to print. So then I say print and go. And it's going to bring up my printer window. And it's going to view. I say print. It's going to send it to my printer if it works. My printer is very fickle. This is where it's going to ask you to select your Cricut device. You don't have the Explorer, so don't worry about it. If you did have the Explorer, you could hit this drop down, choose your machine, and cut this. It will cut out that square, and it'll be perfect. But we don't have it, so we can just cancel this cut. And you say yes, you want to cancel it. Still going to print if it hadn't printed. But now you'll just take that and print this or cut this out with your 12-inch trimmer. or your scissors, or whatever you want to do. Now, if you have corner rounder or a fancy little corner, you can do that as well. That's totally up to you on what you want to, how you want to make your page. But going back to this, so the file I used, because like I said, I had bought this SVG, actually had these little corners in here, and so that's why those are that way. But if you have the little punch that can do that, you can do that too. I had then copied this and put my words on top of that, but my paper wasn't right, and it couldn't read it, and I just ended up cutting it. See, I told you my printer's fickle. I just printed it and cut it out by hand. So you can see that that works because I did it. So there's the front of the card. I added these little strips. They will cut in Cricut Craft Room for you. And then on mine, I did this, the words "you did it," in a print and cut as well. But for the ease of this video, I put these letters in the cut for Cricut Craft Room, so you'll be cutting those and sticking those down. If you have a Xyron, works perfect. The numbers for the date, you will stick them on the little squares that are going to cut, and then they will go right into your pop-up. So this score line that you made, you're going to individually fold them out, so that the card, I'm pointing at the screen, you can't see me. You're going to fold this back of the card forward at these score lines. And where you did the cut, it's going to space open. That looks like white paper, but it's just really hollow space. And then same with up here. And then you're going to just put your numbers on the little squares, put the squares on there. And then for the cap, I used my Cricut tool, the one that looks like a dentist scraper, the one that we cringe at, and punched a hole. Oh, what did I do? Punched a hole in here. And then I just bought these little tassels at the Hobby Lobby. But if you don't have one, you can make them yourself with baker's twine. Just wrap them around your finger, cut them, and tie them in a knot, and make your own little tassel. This I also did with print and cut. And you could do it as well. Instead of using insert image, we'll go back to that. You could say insert text. You can add any text on your computer, or any font on your computer. So if I said congratulations, I keep hitting buttons that I don't mean to hit. So if I type congratulations here, you can then go to this edit tab, and you can show all your fonts. It'll show all your Cricut fonts and all the fonts that are on your computer. It's going to take a while because there's a lot there. But you can choose whichever one you want. If you want one that you don't have, it's going to have a price next to it. So you could buy that and use that font. So if we put this font in there, come on. Well, it went back to Cricut Alphabet. It always defaults to Cricut Alphabet. I don't like using my laptop mouse. I always hit random buttons. So, but then you would just size it little, do it as a print and cut as well, and stick it on your little piece that you're going to cut out. This one right here, and the white one. That one. So there's that. Then you just assemble your card. It's really easy. You're going to have that big score line that you did first. You're going to fold it there. When you fold these other score lines that you made right here, this side you're going to fold backwards. This side you're going to fold forwards. And then it helps once you get it started. You can pretty much just close the card and crease those score lines down. Just assemble your card, and on the front, boom, there you go. That's all I did, and it's a really easy card, and my boss saw it and ordered 3, so people love them. And I made notes on here that on this side, you have to start your cuts at the bottom and work your way up, and on this side, you start at the top and work your way down. So I hope this helps you. I hope you try to make this, and I hope it's easy for you. If you have any questions, you know how to reach me. I'm in the Facebook group. I'm on YouTube. You have my email now, toriB@yahoo.com. You can also message on YouTube. And don't think that you can only use the design space for the print and cut just for this. You can use it for anything. You're just going to make sure that you can actually cut it out. So if you put a big fancy, dream catcher up here, you're not going to be able to intricately cut every little piece out. But if you're putting it on something like a square, you can cut straight lines. So take advantage of that. Use design space. It's free to use. You can print and cut. You can print on sticker paper. You can print on vellum. You can print whatever you want on anything you want. And you can use your Cricut fonts, or you can use your system fonts. You can download fonts from DaFonts. You can do whatever. This is a great tool, and it's free to use. So take advantage of it. Okay, I hope you enjoyed my video. And again, have any questions, you know how to reach me. Thanks for watching.